All right, let's welcome you once again into another exciting edition of the Madiba official show. It's time for the MOS over here with me, the Madiba official. Now, something is happening in the Ghana Premier League and also in the MTN FA Cup to our glamorous clubs in this country. That is the Porcupine Warriors, Asante Kotoko, and then the Continental Club Masters. Never say that until the bones are rotten. Hazelfolk. These two clubs are our flagship clubs in this country. When you talk of the best in this country, you look no further than Hazelfolk and Asante Kotoko. So we are going to dissect and delve much more into the issues happening to these two clubs. But please help us by subscribing to the channel. Kindly click on that subscribe button below the screen so in case of any new video, you'll be notified as soon as possible. Now, last 2 seasons, the Ghana Premier League was won by Hazelfolk. The MTN FA Cup was won by Hearts of Oak. And then you come to last season, the Ghana Premier League was won by Asante Kotoko and the FA Cup was won by Hazelfolk. What am I implying? What I'm trying to say is that, look, for the past 2 or 3 years, we've seen the two clubs dominating the various competitions in this country. And that's what, as a country, we need, because we need our best clubs to represent us in Africa. We need the clubs with history to be able to compete at the highest level of African football. And Ghana, before you can be able to compete, you need to have won the FA Cup or the Ghana Premier League. But this time around, these two clubs have fallen down the pecking order. And for me, it's very quite alarming. You might think it's nothing. Look, when you go to South Africa, it started like this. When in South Africa, the two clubs that were dominating, as a matter of fact, the first South African club that won the African Champions League was Orlando Pirates. Then you look at Kaizer Chiefs, who reached even the finals about some 2-3 years ago. So these two clubs were the ones dominating South African football. The Soweto Derby was a derby that each and every level of African football wanted to watch. But now, as I'm speaking to you, when you go to South Africa, there's a club that's risen to become the best in South Africa, one of the best in African football, and that's Patrice Motsepe's Mamelodi Sundowns. They won 5 premiership titles in South Africa in a row, and in that, there's something that's never happened before. For a club to win the league in South Africa for 5 years in a row is something that didn't happen. Then again, you come to the number of wins this season. They have 55 points. The next team is Super Sports United, not even Orlando Pirates or Kaizer Chiefs, and Super Sports United has 33 points. So the points gap is 22 points. What I want you to understand is that if the big clubs start going down, others will also come up. And this season, what Ibiana start doing, it tells you that the two clubs have to wake up from their slumber. Talking about Hazelfolk and Kotoko, because they cannot be moving out and being eliminated in each and every competition that they compete in. They went to the Champions League. Kotoko was eliminated from the first round. Hazelfolk, the same thing. Then came the Ghana Premier League. We all thought this season to be different. Kotoko won it last season, so they can be able to at least defend or make up into the top 2. But now, if you want the top best class in this country, you will not mention Kotoko as part of those class, because they are now declining. Their form isn't anything good to write home about. And as a club, you cannot only be winning your home matches and want to win a league or want to win a competition. You have to pick up the points on the road. Hazelfolk too, they win matches away, when they come to the home matches, and they will be defeated. So for me, I think these two clubs will start working and also work on the mentality of their players. This thing about referees, look, I've said it time without number on this channel, that when it comes to officiating the Ghana Premier League, this season is one of the worst that we've seen in recent times. You've seen penalties given here and there. It's as a result of the officiating officials, nothing against any club, because I've seen it being awarded to many clubs, being against many clubs. Then ask yourself, why are these penalties? But if you are a club And anytime you lose a match, you apportion or put the blame on the doorstep of the officials. Every day, your players will have a reason to fail. That's according to Kotoko. Because each and every time Kotoko will lose a match, that is the narrative that you hear on the ground. And for me, I think they have to start like letting the players know that, look, if it's true that there is this conspiracy theory against us, it's true. Say, man, let's try to put them to shame. Let's do our job and forget about the others. It's not like Kotoko are dominating those games that they always say the referee cheats them. You watch them against Bechem United, and Bechem were by far the best team. Yesterday, the other Stars was the best team. But still, you listen to the coach, and the coach will tell that it was the referee that won the game for the other Stars. The penalty, any referee can also give it because Mohamed Alassane had his hand on the player of Indiana Stars. And with that view, the referee will give it. And unless maybe there's let's say there is a review that can be able to look on it, a video review for them to be able to rectify it. And if they decide not to give it to, it's their own discretion. So if they don't give it, or they give it against you, go to the drawing board, work on that one, because these two clubs are torch bearers. But this time around, in the Ghana Premier League, the Stars are leading them by 7 points. Kotoko 28, Huddersfield 28, Abercrombie, Tebepe. And the other Stars has 35 points. You had the opportunity because going to a venue that this season you drew over there. As a matter of fact, last 3 meetings between the two of you in a Ghana Premier League at Doma, all the matches had ended with you having, let's say, the bragging right because you avoid defeat. Last season, you won there by 2 goals to 0. So what has changed? What has changed? That this season, Kotoko cannot pick up points away, not even against newly promoted sides. So for me, it's high time that the players have to also take the blame. It shouldn't be only about the coaches. We talked about Matic and Zerbo, how they are not able to change the tactics when the game is going out of hands. For them to be able to vary their tactics and make sure that they can be able to change things and fine tune it and make sure the club goes for it. But hey, you people are the playing body. You can do the job. When you were playing for a previous class, what you did when you used to meet Kotoko, take in with the same preparation when you are playing against those clubs. But no, these clubs, these players will go into matches and you see lackluster performances from them. Both Huddersfield and Kotoko, you see nothing that shows that these players are determined to get the results for their club. It's not the time they have to play good to win matches. Yesterday, we saw Newcastle United play against Man United. Newcastle United played very well, but United got the job done. That's how we win matches. Not all the time that you have to play well. In cup conditions, you do the little things very well. And if you don't get a goal, you can take the game to penalties and maybe you can be lucky on that occasion. But no, Kotoko and Huddersfield, they are doing things abysmally. And for me, you might think it's nothing. Maybe just one season. But look at Bechem United. How they are rising. Look at even Gold Star. Look at the points. Mediama. Look at the points gap between them. Last season, Huddersfield was out of the top 6. Huddersfield was out of the top 6. In-house fighting. In the camp of Huddersfield, you hear Elijah Kambi saying that supporters, if they don't want, they can support any other club. Dr. Yahoya Tamaklo, the same thing. You hear this one coming and to say this one. So this is what's happening in our clubs. And a house that's not united will always fall. So for me, they have to start doing their things right because look, these clubs, Bechem, Indiana Stars, how they recruit for me is very good. Last season they lost August Okra. They came to Kumasi to sign Seth Kojo from Square Deportivo, a youngster. They realized that he is very good. He can be able to replace the outgoing Okra. He came in and he has not earned a call up into the black, that is sunlight. But yes, here are Black Meteors and the 23. But here we are at the business end of the season. Because the other folk are nowhere to be found in the MTN FA Cup, the Ghana Premier League to 7 points adrift, both of them. 5 points adrift, that is Bechem United. And one funny thing is that, look, I'm not saying those clubs that are at the top, the FA Cup and what have you, they don't merit, they merit it. But the thing is, when they qualify, do they have the financial muscle? They go, so it didn't start, the last time that they went with about 16 players or so that they took to play against Raja. They went with jollof rice and the food got sour over there, but they had to eat it because of the financial muscle that they didn't have. So if Kotoko is to go, they have it. How folk, they have it, so they can be able to make sure that they take care, even if they have the folk and Kotoko. Look at how they struggle. They are being eliminated, but look, if you keep on going, one day you might be lucky. Kaizer Chiefs hadn't played the finals before, but they were lucky. Last 3 seasons, they reached the finals of the Champions League only to be defeated by Nadi and Ahly. So for me, the clubs have to start changing things than blaming the referees, blaming themselves, blaming referees and the in-house fights. Let us know the reason why our clubs our big clubs in this country are in such a situation right now. Please leave your comments, like and share the video for us. Please, if you are not to subscribe, and we really appreciate each and every one of you. Bye bye.